Webster Groves work session for the ARB underway. First project is 236 Oakwood Avenue. Comments from the board?
236.
This carriage house is part of the National Register listing for this property, so it needs to be treated as such. So I think there's some things we'd like to talk through and get some information on. We've got a lot of different lines and rhythms going on, even in the existing condition. And I think it would be helpful to simplify these overhead garage doors and keep them in a style that's simpler with the vertical panels, more like what's existing. And also too, I'd like to have a conversation about why all the doors and windows on the rear are being removed. And then it also looks like we're going to have a mix of window grills, so we can kind of talk about what's going on there. And I know it's really not our purview as the ARB, but it looks like they might have a code issue with that interior stair. I believe they would need to have a fire rated enclosed stair, which, may make them reconsider the existing exterior stair. So that might be worth mentioning. Let's see. I think that's kind of the general things to review.
You hit the items that I had in my notes, so. South side. Because that wall is over 60 feet long on the south side.
And also too, I just wanted to clarify the scope on that one dormer. It looks like maybe they're going to, on the one that, on the north elevation, as you look at the drawing that's on the far left, it looks like they may be doing like a new stucco and half timber under that because it doesn't look like it matches the photograph. I just wanted to verify exactly what's going on there.
Well, and the carriage house being on the National Register, maybe I'm seeing that leftmost dormer being like an old hoist access point for stocking the attic, and maybe those are double doors that are part of the
Right.
The character.
part of the register is part of the.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much you can modify based on that, because like that dormer on the right has that weird drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure what that is either, like, anyway, just.
Yeah, it actually looks like, I can't really tell from the photograph, there may be a pulley up there from when it was a carriage house and they were stocking hay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Like the quirkiness of the existing should be retained, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we recognize that, buildings need to change over time, but it's kind of nice to see that history, that progression.
Yep. All right, we will discuss 236. That one at the public hearing. We have another public hearing, which is 115 Orchard Avenue. This is an addition and a resubmittal that we saw.
One of the things we talked about last time was the railing and how that railing interacts with the gable end of the building, and how I just think it's kind of awkward how the railing, I want to tuck the railing in. I'm looking at the north elevation. Seems like the railing wants to come inboard so that it's within the gable.
Yeah.
So it doesn't overlap and just stick out above the roof. And then another thing I was looking at is the roof over this new room has, okay, on the second floor / roof plan, there's a sloped roof that comes down over the room, and then next to it is a deck. And I assume that deck is flat, which means the back elevation, we're not really seeing any. I'm just curious how that works, because we're not seeing any gutters for that roof to drain. Maybe there's scuppers in that, but then the deck would probably be sitting up higher because it's flat. I don't know if that's all captured within that thickness that we're seeing or not, but I feel like it's not gonna look like that.
Yeah. I'm noticing on the second floor with that new addition we're talking about. If you look at the floor plan, the front face of the new addition
Mhm.
is in line with his closet wall. But then when you look at the elevation, that's fine on the front elevation. But then when you turn the corner on the north elevation, or I'm sorry, north elevation, that column treatment is back a foot or two. And I can't tell if there's a step in the elevation but that column doesn't wrap the corner of that new addition, which doesn't,
Oh,
something's odd there. I don't know what's going on, but you'd think that the column would be at the corner on that north elevation.
Hmm.
Or the porte cochere projects. Like the corner here. And the corner is right there, not there. So is that,
oh, I see.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than that, I honestly, I'm not seeing a lot done since last time.
Right.
Or that answers the questions.
They did put grills in the windows along the back, so it looks a little less commercial. That helps a bit.
Yeah.
There was discussion about the column, scale.
Yeah, it looks like, when we were talking last time, they were talking about there being like 3 columns on a base, but now it looks like it's 1 column with like pilasters
Yeah.
and a
actually,
recessed panel, which is,
yeah, it
you
says
know,
raised panel on that
Yeah.
back elevation.
yeah. But
Hmm.
in the discussion before, they were talking like they were going to be individual columns. But I think for the scale of this, the bigger columns with the raised panel treatment looks better than the spindly little
Agreed.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the columns, you mentioned proportion. It was like an 8-inch column, 8-inch space, 8-inch column, and it looks like they're spread out. They're spread out more in these views. Looks like more of like a, I don't know, 6, 12 and 6, which might not match the front porch. Oh, and the wall section on the last page also shows a raised panel arrow to this.
Yes.
And
But like, that's not a void. There's actually material there.
Wouldn't that make sense as a recess panel?
It's a recess panel, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think the
Yeah.
panel is raised in front of the
Yeah.
pilasters. I think
I
they,
hope not.
they mean it's a recess.
Or
panel.
could it be fluted and then a raised panel? Could be a fluted panel that we're not seeing the frame of the raised panel,
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
like. What do you call that? Like on a shaker cabinet door? What do you call that?
Yeah, a little. Yeah, I know what you're
Oh,
talking
they
about.
have,
Oh, yeah, I don't know what you call it.
yeah, they have images that sort of show what they're trying to do, but it doesn't match the drawing.
No.
So like missing a little
Oh,
detail.
decking. I don't know what's.
All right. Can discuss some of those details. Moving on to 1274 Rock Hill Road. This was a resubmittal that we discussed.
I thought it was a big improvement.
The roof, yes.
I agree.
I think they could do one little change to make it even better, maybe. If we look at the east elevation. That, let's see, the left-hand side of that gable. I'll just show you. Like, I feel like we want this line to line up with the existing all the way across. If they bring that down,
Would that put the peak off center of the windows though?
yeah. But you get rid of the weird part on the south elevation, because then it would line up
Oh, you would, wouldn't it, right?
here.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
We can talk to them about it maybe, but yeah, I agree that this is definitely improved from the last.
Yeah, so on the south elevation, you bring that gutter line down and then it would
Yeah.
All right, we can discuss 1274. Moving on to next one is 433 Foot Avenue. This is an addition. Comments from the board.
I was thinking it might be nice to put a window on the side in the bathroom, but I was looking at it closer and I think it would be offset from the gable on that end. The
Could
way
you-
they've got the toilet room kind of laid out, so.
You had two small ones, one in the toilet room and one in the sink room, the vanity room.
Yeah, could maybe do that. Yeah, I was thinking that would be a nice suggestion, but then when I looked at it, I was like, well, if it's off center and not symmetrical, then I wouldn't like it. So maybe it's better to leave it off or maybe do two.
Yeah, I have the same comment. I like, yeah, even two small windows would be nice. Yeah.
All right. Next, we have 645 Lockwood Court addition. From the board.
I didn't have any comments.
The existing stone house is really cool. I like that a lot.
Cool.
I just want to know, I just want to make sure that they really match the new stone they add to get that same look and scale and appearance of the old stone. I did see, what's it? Oh, on the new edition, I didn't, I wonder if they would consider stone or otherwise sills on the windows, below the windows in the brick. And then I can't tell from the existing brick portions of the home what type of brick header are above the brick, if those would be considered on those windows as well.
Looks like the rendering has the sills, but the line
Oh,
drawing
it does.
does not.
No, you're right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
that's a
so
clarification.
get those shown maybe.
Yeah, clarified.
And then just under the porch and enclose it like we typically ask for, and then if there is a finish on the concrete footing, exposed wall.
Uh-huh. I had a similar comment. All right, anything else? All right, next we have 245 Oak Tree Drive, attached garage, comments from the board.
I have extra photos if anybody didn't get a copy. Two set. I had a question about driveways. I was curious if the existing driveway at the front of the house was gonna be removed. Or if they're planning on keeping that. And then the new side driveway, it looks like the driveway needs to be a little bit wider. It's kind of cutting off that first door.
Oh, yeah. Are they limited in Webster by the curb cut width?
I don't know, can't remember. I know you have to have 22 feet backup,
That might make limit,
but maybe,
like if they move it down, and then they're limited at 15, that'd make parking in the other garage door might
yeah.
dicey.
I wanted to verify the scope of work on the first floor rear windows and doors. It looks like the windows that are shown on the plan are a different size and style that are what's shown on the existing photos. And the one kitchen window looks like it would be too tall to be above a countertop. So I just wanted to verify what we've got going on there.
Okay, we can discuss 245 Oak Tree. Last project is 427 South Park Avenue. Window replacement and carport. Comments from the board?
I didn't have any comments and was glad that they were. I mean, this is a lot of work to this guy. And I thought it was interesting that they're changing the roof to have an overhang. I thought that made a good, that
Mhm.
was a good improvement.
Um. Looking at the east elevation, I was wondering, is the box header that's over the, is that a former garage right there? Is that what?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it's gonna be a carport.
Oh, okay.
Open.
Okay. I wasn't seeing that at all. Okay. Okay. Never mind. I got the planes mixed up. Okay. So it's carport. Okay. Never
Yeah.
mind.
So that's
So
open.
my comments are moved then. Okay.
I just have one minor suggestion. It's not a requirement. They might want to consider keeping a small window in the second floor bath, just to have some natural light in there.
Okay. We will discuss 427. With that, we will take a recess until 5:30. See everyone then. Thank you. Welcome everyone to the Architectural Review Board meeting. We have finished our work session. The regular meeting is now underway. Introduced to Bell and Jim Bailey with the city. We have Carol Dunkey, Tracy Collins, David Yates, myself, Bob Buckman, all volunteer architects on the board. First item would be review of meeting minutes from previous February 19th. I believe 4 of us are present. With that, may I have a motion?
I move to approve the February 19th meeting minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting minutes from the 19th are approved as written. At this point, we will go through the projects. If we call your project, and you're here in person, to come up to the microphone and introduce yourself. We'll discuss your project. If you're on Zoom, to raise your Zoom hand, and Takoa will add you to the session online. First project is a public hearing, 233 Oakwood Avenue. Sorry, 236 Oakwood Avenue.
Hi, I'm David Hercules with Hercules Design Build.
Hello.
Welcome, David.
This is on, I saw it twice on the agenda. We're just talking about it once, right? I got 4 pages, and so it kind of,
We're just talking about.
Yes,
Okay.
just once.
that's what I thought. I'm like,
Can you stay a while?
Oh, did you hear any of our work session at all?
I did not.
Okay, okay. That's fine. No worries. Just didn't want to go over it if you had already heard it.
Sure.
One of the things that's noted is that this carriage house is on the National Register. It's part of the National Register listing for this property.
Mhm.
So it would need to be treated as an historic property.
Mhm.
And just wanted to verify a few things. First of all, could you give me an idea of what the condition is of the existing doors and why those are being replaced, the large existing doors into the garage bays?
Yeah, I would say barely partially functional.
Okay.
And if you push too hard, they'd probably fall apart.
I understand that.
Hmm.
Um,
A general note about the condition of this garage. We're it's the homeowner's desire that if we can at all save this thing, they would like to save it.
Great.
And we are going through a lot of layers of due diligence to try to make sure we can save it. It's kind of one of those things that's teetering on the edge. There's significant fire damage inside, lots of termite damage, some of which was repaired very poorly in the past, and now there's structural problems, all of which, we're going to have to correct. It was built in probably 4 stages over time, over a long period of time. So some of it has footings, some of it doesn't, some of it has a dirt floor, some of it has concrete, It's in pretty rough condition, and the doors are part of that. So our intention is to try to preserve its look from the front, even with the weird mismatched dormers, which we're not all built at the same time, obviously. So anyway, it's just a general comment about kind of what we're starting with here, and the door question plays into that. So they want to be able to use this thing in a modern way to be able to park vehicles and give it a new life, so that it can continue and it still contribute to the charm and character of the existing home, while making it solid enough for the next 50 or 100 years, that they're not constantly continuing to repair it, but they can actually use it and it survive on. So that's our goal with this project.
That's an admirable goal. Thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, you can tell by looking at it that it's evolved a lot, had been added onto and modified, which is, that's a great part of the history to try to kind of maintain it, even if it is a little bit of a hodgepodgey look.
Right.
So I just wanted the dormer that's kind of, as you're standing facing the garage, the dormer on the far left, it looks like that panel style is being modified. Is that going to be new half timber that's proposed below those windows?
So part of the challenge with the dormers is that, some of the windows are just purely not functional and they're letting weather in. They're not refurbishable. So we are trying to, without dramatically modifying the shape or the structure of these dormers, to unify the look a little bit more, since initially we were going to try to save what we could of the original siding and trim, but it just got to the point where so much of it's rotten. And now we're looking to strip all the siding and trim off and redo it with a similar style and layout. But that gives us the opportunity to maybe unify some of these details. So that's what you're seeing there. It is a little different because those doors now, I think, kind of go all the way down, and they're just, it just doesn't work functionally. And, we're going to be replacing all the windows and.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Just to give you some insight, David made an excellent point. It looks like at the peak of that gable, is that an old pulley that is up there? Because
I apologize. I don't have the photos
Okay.
that were submitted in front of me. So
when I look at this is
certainly.
You can have my copy.
It's right up here in this dormer here. It looks like there might be a pulley up there. And if there's a chance that that's an indication that those were old loft doors from when this was a carriage house, from actual horse and buggy type carriages. And that would be where they hoisted the hay up to the loft, and they would be 2 doors that would swing open to bring that hay in.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense with how this is built, certainly.
Yeah, and so that would be an interesting kind of character defining feature to maintain. If you
To maintain the pulley or the
the
door configuration.
the door configuration, that's just something to consider, because it is part of the old function of the building, kind of indicates the history.
So
Functioning door.
yeah, so rather than having, say, the stucco panels with the triple window, you might just do two fixed panels that mimic the door look with 2 windows that look like the original doors, so that it would still look like, oh, that's the old hayloft, rather than matching it with the other the other two windows down the elevation.
Yeah, and we have, you know, this building already has a lot of different rhythms and different patterns. So instead of going with the overhead garage doors that have the long horizontal pattern and then with verticals inside of that horizontal, I think it would be better to replace those garage doors with something that looks more like the existing doors with the simpler vertical panel style, because all of the panels along there are vertical. And to introduce the long horizontals, it just takes on a busyness and changes of direction that I think are not serving the design well. So sticking with a garage door style that looks more like the original with those vertical panels and the lights that are similar proportion in the door. Like on this end here, something that's more similar to those doors. So it would have a more distinctive historic looking presence rather than the contemporary modern garage doors that are shown in the drawings. And also, could you give us some insight into why you're removing and infilling all of the doors and windows on the rear?
So the rear elevation is not visible from anywhere. There's vegetation back there. So there's a security component that the client asked us about. He's like, we don't need all these windows back there. It just gives someone an opportunity to, get in there or whatever. Wasn't visible from anywhere. We are, like I said earlier, trying to make this a viable project from a budget standpoint as well. And you know how these houses are built, the window frames are integral to the framing, right? So all those would have to be reframed completely. We can't just pop an old window out, pop a new window in. And so it's a cost consideration. For one thing, it saves a considerable amount of money, but also the security aspect and the fact that it's not a visible elevation from anywhere on the property or neighboring properties. Those are all those reasons combined.
Yeah, we tend to look at the building rather than vegetation, because I'm sure there's been a lot of vegetation that's come and gone since this building was constructed. So vegetation doesn't necessarily survive. You've seen some of the stormwater projects that have come through town, and, a lot of screening vegetation that's been there for years is gone and not coming back anytime soon. So we look at the building, and that does have an historic aspect. Have you looked at if the windows are, doesn't look like, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like maybe a lot of those are functional. They may be just fixed.
There's a variety. Some of them look like they may have been changed at one point. We're not sure. It's hard to tell. It's a head scratcher. Some of them, like why they are where they are, but who knows what happened over the last 100 years, right? Just where they are, we certainly don't need a door back there either. And so that was a client request, specifically for the reasons I mentioned. And considering it didn't seem like they were contributing to the building in the way that, like, the front facade, of course, would be, we're proposing to just eliminate them and infill them.
Yeah, I would caution you against that, because it is an historic building. It would be, this is what I'm about to say is sort of an extreme, but it illustrates the point. If this were an old house, we wouldn't eliminate all the doors and windows in the back and say, oh gosh, it doesn't matter because it's nobody sees it. So I can understand where you might want to um, eliminate some of the doors, maybe they could be, if they're in decent shape, maybe they could be fixed shut. And then, I would recommend taking a close look at those windows and, be pretty judicious about which you choose to remove, because I think eliminating all of them would not be appropriate for this historic structure at all. And then also too, even though building code is not really the purview of the Architectural Review Board, it looks like that your new interior stair, are you planning to have that open, or were you going to enclose that and have it be fire rated?
It's not planned to be enclosed at this time, as far as I understand.
Okay, you might want to double check the code on that. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't reviewed this building, but you might want to take a look at that, because it might give you pause about whether or not you wanted to remove that existing exterior stair, because you would need to have a safe way out of that attic space. So that's just, something to consider and review. And then also too, have you considered using windows other than vinyl?
Certainly.
Yeah, I noticed that there was vinyl windows.
We've
were not-
considered yes, we have considered that.
Yeah, okay, for an historic building, vinyl windows has that vinyl window look. But maybe you could do something like a polyclad, which, is still nice and resistant, but would have a more historic appearance. It wouldn't be that white plasticky look. And also to,
I'm just looking for where the call out is on the windows.
I saw it someplace because I put it in my notes. I don't think where was it.
We generally, and I don't want to speak out of turn because I didn't do the spec for this, but
It's on the front.
vinyl composite. So
Yeah.
it's referring to the Anderson 100s, which we tend to prefer because they don't have that plasticky look.
Okay,
And so I think it's just not called out by name on here, but it is called out as a vinyl composite, which points to the Anderson 100, which is our go-to when budget is really like pushed us down to that level. It's a little nicer than just vinyl.
okay.
I'm sure you're familiar with those windows and you've probably seen them.
And
Those
also,
be, oh, sorry.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, and those would be like a vinyl window, like white, or would they be brown to match the rest of the building?
I believe those are available in brown. And
Okay.
that's what we would be
Yeah.
using. Mhm.
Yeah, we didn't,
We want to match the color scheme here.
yeah, that's great, because I looked up on Google Earth a picture of the house to see how we can, make the design sympathetic, and the house does have those nice brown frames. So I think that even though the board is not supposed to judge color, I think that would go a long way toward making this their building look
Yeah,
really, really
It's
nice.
absolutely our intention to mimic this color scheme that you see on the original.
Yeah, and I really appreciate your efforts.
Even though you're not supposed to ask about color.
Right. I appreciate your efforts and the efforts of the homeowners to
Mhm.
keep this building in use. Thank you very much.
And let me
for doing
stress,
that.
we're teetering on the edge
Yeah.
Yeah.
with
I
this.
Oh, yeah. I think we're all familiar with the teeters. We get that.
So we're trying really hard to make this viable
Yeah.
so that it can happen.
And then back to the garage door, with the verticality of the existing drop panels within the glazed top. Those are,
Sorry, you're talking about the rear elevation?
no, I'm sorry, the garage doors on the
Oh, the
front.
garage doors, right, okay.
Those are currently swing open doors, which
Well, it's actually a bypass. Well, the one on the left is, I think, a swing door. The one on the right with the vertical panels, it's a bypass, like they're on tracks.
right. You could consider either a 3 or 4 panel sectional door that when it's in the closed position, you see the top section has the glazing in it. And then the bottom 2 sections, they section, but then when they're closed, they still have the
They have that
frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that look, and that's kind of like what I think would be good to see there if that can be done. Just to then stick with those stucco panels on the two gable ends and then also on those dormers. It would be nice if that leftmost dormer had the look of the hayloft doors. But I see what you're doing with the.
I mean, I guess it's a matter of, how do we make that happen with available products without getting into custom construction? I
Right.
mean, anything can be custom made, but again, does it push this project outside of the realm of viability to do that? So, how we accomplish that to mimic that look with the window on top, but it's a door,
And if you do move forward with the stucco panels below, is that, I mean, the dormer is wider than the other two, but could you go back to just to two double hungs versus the triple? And at least that would keep it cohesive across
I mean,
or is that or
certainly.
are those
I mean,
too wide?
Certainly, we could. I think it was really a matter of, 3, 3, and 3. It was really just trying to unify that look. But certainly, if the recommendation is to tilt more toward the original configuration and less towards, unifying the look across the front of the building, that's not any harder than what we're showing. So if that becomes a condition upon which the approval would rest.
Yeah.
If you want 2 instead of 3.
Yeah, if you do decide to go with the windows there, I think that 2 would look better, because it would be 2, 2, and 2, because, with this building, we already have a lot of mix and match as far as rhythm and panels and stuff. So we're trying to walk the line between keeping more of the historic look and kind of calming things down a little bit with all the this way and that way on this building.
No, I get it. And it's one of those things that certainly could go either way. And I'm happy to, accept that to go to a 2 window, 2 panel configuration to better mimic what was there.
Yeah,
Certainly.
I think, you might, I think I'm finally done, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I think the dormers are, they're all 3 different. So you could make all 3 of them different in the new build to get as close to it as you can if you like, and that kind of tells the story of the original.
Yeah.
And then definitely keep that little hoist beam at the end, just because it's fun to know that was a hayloft.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just, for me, that's a small little piece of it.
Yeah.
Um,
So switch to a 2 window configuration to better mimic at least the configuration that was there. Even if we don't use 2 doors, we can
Right.
just
right. I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
that's what
size wise,
Yeah.
shorten the windows a little, just make it read
Yeah,
more like this.
right,
I mean,
yeah, it wouldn't
so-
have to be additional cost or operable
right,
doors
right.
or anything. I'm
Right.
sorry.
No, I was gonna say, it's just something to think about with your client. Like, do you want to keep that part of the story? 'Cause
Oh, I
that's
don't think they have a
It's kind of
problem with doing that
fun.
at all. That's not a problem.
Yeah, it's a minor thing
to
for
put all
me.
those windows in the back, it would be a harder sell.
Yeah,
And then the stair on the end that's existing, that's being taken off with a little porch.
Yeah, that's a modern, that's not.
Yeah.
And it's falling apart and it's rotten. That's not more than 30 years old.
Right.
And then the stucco will just match the other gable end.
Correct.
I guess it's, one of those things on the rear of the south elevation of the garage. I understand the concerns, and maybe a compromise is some impression of what was there. So providing a picture frame.
Or even
and
like a flat panel trimmed out or something.
Just something that gives
With
that,
siding.
not trying to add cost with windows, but something that indicates what was there previously, but not functional. If you don't want to use windows, you could just use some trim that indicate the windows, where the windows were, something to just break that elevation up. And I know the idea that no one can see it now, but in the future, maybe there's a fence that's in the way and some shrubbery, but maybe in the future that's not there. And I think typically, most of the board members here kind of look at the building that way, as if nothing were there. And so in my mind, understanding the cost, maybe that's a way to, you know, suggest to bring some articulation to that side that recognizes what was there, but you know, maybe it's not a window anymore, it's just a panel. That's
Yeah.
my thought
Panel with the
as a
dark trim.
compromise.
Yeah. I think,
Um,
because it's over 60 feet of just blank wall, so that's
Mhm.
pretty good run.
It is long. It's really short.
Yeah,
You know, like on the right-hand side, looking at that elevation, the gutter is like here. It's,
Oh, I see.
it's like, just, it's.
yeah, not very
and You
tall,
can't quite get that. Just
right,
readings,
in the
but
pictures,
Scale wise, it's pretty
'Cause
low.
it's dug
Over on the
into
left,
the-
it's a little bit higher, but
right,
it's not much higher than my head height. It's a pretty low horizontal. And you know, for what's worth, the client wanted us to ditch the dormer on the back, and we're like, no, 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 no.
right.
So she wanted to ditch one of the dormers on the front too, and we're like, no, no, no.
Right.
That will not fly.
Right.
Dormer on the, so that dormer on the back, is that the existing interior stair that was there?
I'm sorry, is it the what?
Existing dormer on the rear.
Yeah.
Was that an existing stair that was inside?
I don't think so. There's no indication that
Okay.
there was a stair there. The only stair is the one on the outside.
Yeah,
You know, who knows if there was probably a hole with a ladder at one point. Actually, there's 2x4s nailed to one of the walls that go up to a hole. So I think they just crawled up
Yeah.
the wall up into that upper thing at one point.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The raccoons got in other ways.
Yeah.
A lot of raccoon
they always do.
They eat
Bits and pieces.
everything. Yeah.
That was a hazmat situation. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I like Bob's idea of just retaining something back there that,
So your suggestion is that we maintain this configuration of window frames, not modifying it in any way, but as a way to at least tell the story that this was how it was. Is this what you're asking us to do?
I think that's probably a good compromise.
I don't think it has to be exact, matchy, but I just think that something on the back would help break it up.
Yeah.
You know, and if you have existing openings there that have, you know, I forgot all the terminology for the different bucks and this and that, but if you have an existing opening there, and the old window comes out and you stabilize the framing around that window opening, and then you infill it with studs so that you have a solid wall,
Yeah.
but then you
A flat
replicate
panel.
the window frame around that opening and do a infill panel that maybe siding and maybe a flat panel of you know, all weather masonite or something that just I'm just trying to figure out how you do it, but you'd still keep those window openings as a ghost of what they were, and then it adds
So
visual.
in
interest.
your mind, it's more similar to what's there.
What's
in terms
there.
of configuration, not you know, coming up with some other configuration of just breaking it up with.
That'd be how I do it. I can't speak for everyone else's opinion just because we're all different design types, but having the trim in brown around the original opening, even though the opening's gone, it's infilled because we're not putting windows in there that's on the expense of doing a window. That could be an option.
right, it's introducing some trim to the back, but it's helping break up that facade. I think, and it could
I mean,
be.
I think that's a
infilled-
reasonable compromise what you're asking.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get a sense of if you want us.
Yeah.
To be exact.
You know,
on that, or
If
maybe.
approval
Right.
hinges on us keeping this configuration just like this or
Right,
close
Maybe
or.
you do two of the openings instead
I'm
of, I was thinking maybe you do two of, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 7 openings on that back wall. Maybe you just do 2 of them to kind of
Yeah.
add some interest instead
yeah,
of,
I mean, where the
Otherwise,
doors,
what I'm saying,
yeah, you could do where the doors were.
yeah.
And maybe one of the windows, just to help break up the facade. To me, that's where like everyone might have a different idea.
Yeah.
Bill, but that's one idea I think that would work.
Yeah, you could
And-
just take a look at that back elevation and maybe pick like 4 openings in a rhythm that would be pleasing and would sort of address the entire elevation, like obviously not like all at one end or all at the other, but just, something to break that up and kind of echo what was there historically. And that would be, just some
I know
trim
which four I would
costs.
probably pick.
Yeah.
That one.
Well,
that
well,
one,
and also.
That one and that one.
Well, and also if you get in there and you take the old windows out and you're going along and then you're going to resheathe and reside the back, you might sheathe the entire back like you would normally before you cut the windows out, and the homeowner might say, "Wow, it's really dark in this garage," and they might say, "Let's go ahead and of those 7 openings, keep 2 of them as windows, and then once you can cut out the window and then decide with the homeowner what you want to do back there." Because
Well, we have had that conversation with the homeowners and
yeah, because I mean it will get dark in there once all the windows are closed up. So just
It's a way to suggest in the future that someone might want to put a window in and where they could place it.
yeah, that too, because the framing will be there in place except for the termite damage portions. But
Yeah, I think. Yeah. 4 of those sounds good.
okay. All right.
Yeah, and I agree with everyone on the doors. If there's a way to find a panel that's more vertical, I think it would, fit the historic side a little bit better. I don't know if you have something in mind from the door.
I don't, I wasn't working on the selections on this project. My
Yeah.
team was. So I'm not sure the genesis of that selection and what went back and forth with the client, but I'm sure if we found something along those lines that wasn't triple the price, that they'd be okay with it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think some of these, if you want to maybe chat with your client, make some revisions, we could.
I know there won't be an issue with changing to the 2 windows on the front dormer. I know there won't be an issue with picture framing 4 windows on the back. That's not a problem. So the only other thing are the garage door is the garage door question. And really, I mean, that just comes down to like, what can we find that fits closer with the look that's there and what you're suggesting. And I just don't know what that product would be. So I don't know, the path forward for you guys. I mean, do we need to do this all over again, or can we submit a different garage door, conditional with those modifications, and we submit a garage door to you at some point so that you can say, yep, this one works? How do we move? What's the path forward, I guess?
For me, it would be to have a conversation with your client, just to verify that they're on board, and to locate some garage doors that are proposed so we could see those. And because this is a historic property and it is a public hearing, I don't know that submitting something later that isn't a part of the public record would be workable.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I would agree. I think with the doors, if we knew what the alternate was, we don't, so.
Right, and
I think that's why I think my suggestion would be we table a vote and have you review it with your client. And then look into the door issue. And then if you resubmit it, obviously with those items addressed, then it's pretty straightforward. Because we've already talked through everything,
Okay.
so.
Okay. Are there any other questions or concerns that we need to look at? I have the front dormer, I have picture framing the windows in the back, garage doors.
I think that's it.
And also too, you may already know this, but these discussions are available on YouTube. So, if you wanted to review anything or your client did, that will be there, available on the
Okay,
city's
I didn't know
website.
that. Good to
Yeah,
know.
yeah, you go on the city's website in the agenda area, and then right at the top, there's a link to the city's YouTube channel.
Okay.
Okay. All right, well, thank you, Bill. We'll table this until next time.
Okay.
All right, have a good evening.
I don't know if the city, I don't want to speak on behalf of the city, but I think if you were able to get it in you might be able to get on the next agenda.
Oh, yeah.
If it's just a garage door, seems like that could be something you quickly look into and then
And what's the deadline?
not
for the
wait
next
4
meeting?
weeks.
Right,
Early next week.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
okay,
we'll
Thank
hop
you.
to it.
all right. Have a good
Thank you
evening.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. You don't need this back or do you?
No, you can keep that.
All right, next we have 115 Orchard Avenue, public hearing as well.
Hi, Michael
Hello.
Buckeye.
Oh, welcome back.
Yep. This is Rocky.
Hi, Rocky.
Hey, Rocky, welcome. The column sizes change. One of the things I was looking at.
Column's one column. This is
Yeah.
gonna be one column, 16-inch
Okay,
square.
But it still has the corners that look like it's a.
Yeah.
Got it, okay.
Correct,
And the original columns that are at the front door, those stay, correct?
correct. Those are square.
Okay.
right, okay.
It's just, they're drawn somewhat similarly. I just wanted to verify that.
Yes.
Yeah, and then obviously you added the grills to the back, which help kind of give it a more residential feel,
Mhm.
the door, which looks good.
And then a question I had was when you're looking at the front elevation on the east, and there's the carport, the portico share underneath. You have the triple window and you have two columns on the corner up high.
Yes,
And then you turn the corner and the columns are inset or stepped back. So you have you have a slight overhang.
yes, well, I saw that. I want the columns on the corners. And I noticed that. and it
Okay,
did
okay.
get
So
changed.
then up top, when you turn the corner, you'll have column touching at the corner. Because right now the column on the main front elevations at the corner,
Right,
but then it's set, but then it's
right, on the
set-
sides, yes. I would like the columns to go out to the edge,
Right.
so everything lines up. Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But then would the panel configuration continue underneath where there's no windows? If you push those columns out to the edge?
I'll probably have to add windows.
I was gonna say, because,
Oh,
just,
okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
yeah, so you would look strange to have an expanse of siding, and then how are you gonna trim out the windows, and what happens with that panel rhythm there?
Right.
If you move those columns out to the corner? I mean, I'm not opposed to it, I'm just trying to
Yeah, could you, so,
see, like, if you move them out here,
Right.
okay, are we gonna have a blank expanse of siding, then how are these windows trimmed out? And do these panels go all the way across, or,
Right.
what happens there?
Okay, prepared. Right, so on the plan, you have a column there.
So you would just do 3 equal.
Yeah, so if that's the column look,
Right, you have 3 equal lights on each side.
right.
So are you talking about adding windows?
Yeah, I think in order to do that, you would just have. Well,
yeah, no, there's a reason why we don't want to add a
So
window
that
there.
column
One
face-
is because the tub
Then that and that move this
on
way.
her side,
Okay,
she doesn't want a window there. She wants the tub to be,
I see.
so that's one reason why
Come out.
we don't want a
Okay,
window there.
okay.
We don't want to extend those windows.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're saying that. if
I'm
the
pulling
top
up the
is
plans
there, you
here.
don't have window right.
Got mine in the
Yeah.
truck.
Right,
See what you're saying.
So I mean,
so then, but it would still, on the north elevation, you would still show the columns on the outside, and you would just have siding or a raised panel to
Right.
fill the blank spot.
I
Right.
think that a panel might look more coherent. than a
Panel would
little-
look better.
Well, the panel that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he should.
I think
put-
it's just
yeah,
not
the whole
strong.
thing's gonna be panels.
Yeah.
It's gonna be trimmed out. So I mean, windows and panels. raised
Yeah,
panels.
I think that would look better than having just a slim piece of siding.
Right, I agree. Yeah,
Mhm.
so I think that was just a drafting error on the north elevation.
Yes, and I saw that after they were turned in. So, yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
okay.
While we're on the north elevation, that railing above that room, you see how like the railing is extending beyond the gable end of the roof?
Mm. Hold on. Rock falls up.
What I was gonna suggest is maybe taking that railing inboard so that it's within the triangle of the gable.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
Railing
like
just
that.
sticking out above the roof line.
right,
okay,
It's like you take one panel of railing off either end and you'd be good.
right, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't really, it's not functional, right? You're not up on that roof.
Yeah,
Right,
it's just decorative, so.
but I mean, do I have to have railing? So you don't have to if you. But, okay. Just
I mean,
curious.
you don't need a railing up there if you don't want one.
Yeah,
A little less work.
right.
It's not functional.
Mhm.
Could just take it off.
I personally think it would look just fine without it, but if you
Right.
want to keep it,
Mhm.
just let us know.
Okay, yeah,
That's, I'm fine with getting rid of it, but if we keep it, it needs to be properly coordinated with the gable, like
Yeah.
Tracy pointed out. Yeah.
it gives me an option. But-
Yeah,
So there's a deck on top of the room?
Yes,
So the roof is sloping, is the deck sloping too?
the deck will, the deck will stay
Against
flat.
Sleeper, okay, so,
Mhm.
so then I don't think, because the section is not really working that way. Because you're gonna have, I guess, does a roof, the sloping roof just pours off the side of the building? Because it doesn't look like there's a gutter or anything.
There's gonna be gutters on the,
Okay,
all on the back.
right,
there'll be a
correct.
gutter, so
So
there'll be a
it's
fire,
framed
not a.
up to the back.
Yeah.
The deck will probably be sloping too.
The gutters are gonna be, it's not gonna be your conventional gutter. It's gonna be integrated into the roof.
Like
Right.
a built-in gutter.
Right, I don't want to see the gutter. No.
Okay.
No,
All right.
So it's all sloping towards the long end.
correct.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, yeah, so that, yeah, that section would need to be modified to show those slopes. You know, right now it's framed this way, but it'd be framed this way. The framing sloping down
Right.
with the decking on sleepers, and then there's a gutter built in. that.
Right, I guess what we're trying to show is that the elevation that you're gonna see is gonna be level. I don't want to see any kind of slope.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
The elevation is gonna be level all the way around, and the slope's gonna be in the roof.
Yeah.
So almost like,
Yeah.
a small little
Sure.
knee wall with some crown on
yeah,
it,
Mm-hmm.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's fine, and I think Tracy's point, the section doesn't show the deck, but the deck is gonna set the height of the rail. So that railing is gonna have to be at a certain height above the deck, wherever the deck lands, and then it's gonna be straighted across, so the
Right,
detail doesn't quite show all that, but I think architecturally, if that's the intent, that's what's shown.
right, correct.
Yeah, and you know, and you're building it, but you know, the designer just needs to know that if you are sloping at that whatever a quarter inch per foot towards the back long elevation, you might run into head height clearances for those very tall doors, and just
Right,
be realistic about what you get. You
right,
know? Yeah, yeah.
right.
All right. So, anything else? All right, so I think we can clarify those few things.
you have anything?
Okay, I think we can clarify those two things in a motion. With that, before we do, the motion with those clarifications at the public hearing, is there anyone else that wants to make a comment on 115 Orchard Avenue online? In person? With that, may I have a motion?
We didn't make a decision on the railing, right? So the motion would say,
Either or.
Right.
I've got remove railing or coordinate railing termination with gable. Does that?
yeah.
Yeah, like hold railing face back behind gable.
Yeah, to terminate behind the gable eave or something like that.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve 115 Orchard Avenue with the following clarifications. The railing on the roof on the north elevation is, if it is to remain, shall be revised to be inboard of the gable roof. So that doesn't stick out proud of the roof line. The rear elevation, the south elevation represents the design intent with no sloping roof structure visible. The roof structure above the room is to be sloping to an internal drain. And then on the north elevation, the siding on the second floor is to be changed to a panel material. Oh, and then the column element is going to be moved to the corners on either side of that wall.
Okay.
Is that covered?
Yeah, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this is on YouTube, so if Rocky wants to see himself running
Yeah.
across camera,
It's like the frame up.
he might enjoy that.
He'll like that.
All right, have a good one. Yep. Next, we have 1274 South Rock Hill Road.
All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Back again after 2 weeks.
Yeah, welcome back. I think there was just one suggestion, and it's not Wallet Tracy.
I was just looking at the roof line and it looks like it's a lot more, I'm able to understand it a lot better with the new drawings.
Okay.
And the east elevation, the roof line, the gable end, doesn't quite align with the existing elevation of the fascia.
Which one are you looking at?
Like this east elevation,
Yes.
that roof will stick up above. That line won't be consistent throughout. So I was thinking we could just bring that roof line down maybe so that everything aligns as far as the fascia goes.
Yeah, but then it's gonna throw all those windows out of balance with the ridge.
That didn't bother me. The roof line felt like lining the roof line felt better to me, but that was just something that I saw. But other
Okay.
board members may feel different.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with, I'm just kind of sketching here. I'm okay with those windows being out of whack, but also if you can maybe think of 2 windows versus 3. I mean, obviously you guys are more intimate with the drawings, but if that comes down so that you line up with the gable coming around and I know there's a wall interior here, but maybe you could go with 2 windows or 3, but if you want to stick with 3 windows, that off-centeredness doesn't bother me at all either.
I just feel like if you're looking down the side of the building, it would look like a mistake to have that roof.
Yeah.
Sticking up high, but
One of those windows is in the bathroom.
Well, it's in the bathroom, okay.
Yeah.
To me, I think I'm good either way.
Yeah.
So,
Me too. I mean, I was thinking about it and I'm looking in my mind's eye, I'm like, for me, it would be wonky to have, especially with that gable louver, to be off center of the 3 symmetrically placed windows. So for me, I'm okay with the way it's drawn.
yeah, I guess with that, we can vote
Yeah.
with, an option if you wanted to consider it, but I think we could just vote with the way it is to simplify it. So with that, can I have a motion on 12, may I have a motion on 1274 South Rock Hill Road?
I make a motion to approve 1274 South Rock Hill with the option to lower the eave line to align with the eave on the south elevation and to leave the windows as they are or move them for more symmetry if you choose.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have 433 Foot Avenue addition.
Hi, Matt Shaver with Shaver Architecture.
Hey, Matt.
Welcome, Matt. I think there was a suggestion, Carol.
Oh, yeah, that's just a suggestion on adding a couple of windows into your primary bath. Just to not have that gable element be entirely blank. You could put, a small window into the toilet compartment and then a small window there kind of by that makeup desk.
Thought you might want a window there.
Yeah, and we understand that if it was just one window, it would be kind of off-centered in that gable and would look a little bit strange. That's why we were discussing maybe even like two small windows.
Okay.
So they could be symmetrically placed and you'd have one in the water closet area and then one in the
Right.
primary area. That's my, I think that's what it's all.
Yeah.
Suggestion
It-
that I recall.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like it's Eastern light. It's the morning. Like there's a lot of reasons to do it from the inside, but just looking at it from the outside, it could be a really small window. It could be obscure glass. It could be.
Right.
It could be above head height.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of options on
Sure.
what the window or windows could be,
Okay.
but I think the exterior elevation would benefit personally, I think, but
Yeah, I would just advocate to keep it in a rectangular proportion that's similar to the rest of the windows,
right.
and not some long.
Yeah,
metal
the window
something.
lights.
Yeah, but yeah, just in that vertical rectangular proportion.
Yeah.
I think that would be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's something you've talked with your client.
Yeah. I think it makes sense and I'm happy to have that conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
but I wouldn't do one if it's just one that's off center from the gate. That would look
That would
Funny,
look really
yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
almost like you have to do two, or you rearrange your toilet room somehow, or.
Yeah.
I think two would be nice. It'd be nice to have, light in those spaces.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right. That was it, I
was
think,
it.
on the
Yeah.
comments. So with that, may I have a,
Well, I guess, are you open to that, or?
yeah.
Should we put that in?
Trying to get
on
a
our-
read. before-
Do you want to add two windows?
It would just be small and there would be in your primary bath to keep that one sidewall is like entirely blank under your new gable. It's on the side and they would just be like two small symmetrically placed windows.
Not really.
Are we good for a motion?
Oh, okay. So if that's agreeable, then we can read it into the motion. May I have a motion on 433 Foot Avenue?
I'll make a motion to approve 433 Foot Avenue with the understanding that there will be 2 small windows added to the east side elevation into the primary bath, and that the windows will be similar proportion to the existing window configuration, more vertical than horizontal. And the windows shall be symmetrically placed.
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
there we go.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Derek.
All good.
I think I'm the next.
Oh, you're next?
Yeah.
You're still on the list, sorry, man. I just realized that. 645 Lockwood
You can
Court.
sit
I was like, yes, and
Matt
here
Shaver.
you are. All right. Few questions on this one. I think, David, you had some questions.
Yeah, let me pull my notes up.
It's a pretty cool house.
Yeah, cool.
That's really nice. It's a fun project. Yeah.
Just because the house is that stone front is gable is so cool. Are you guys locked in on a good match of new stone that matches?
That's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be I think a fully adhered veneer, but we will
No,
match.
that's fine.
Yeah, we will match it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And then we noticed on the renderings that the 2 windows on the end of the new addition have stone sills shown, but on the elevations the stone sills aren't there.
Oh. You're right.
And then because the renderings were small, we couldn't tell if the existing brick portions of the house have any special sort of brick header above the windows.
Oh, that's a good question.
If
I
they're
actually don't think they.
like a roll lock or a
Yeah.
back arch or something.
I don't think it. I think it's just the running bond.
Oh, it is?
continuing.
Okay,
I
okay,
believe
okay.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
But if there's something there, we will match it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be the idea. So it sounds like it's a, yeah. Just look at that. And then we typically on porch additions and exposed foundations, just curious about what your plans are, or if you're just going to pull the forms and leave the foundation exposed, or if you would rub it or paint it or do something. So it's a good 3 foot of exposed foundation.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, we haven't had a conversation about that.
Yeah. Somehow finish it otherwise than just the gray pulled forms.
Okay.
Um,
You're okay with it being unfinished concrete though? Not-
Unfinished.
Not being
concrete.
painted or.
and paint's always going to come off, but
Yeah.
you know, like if you would just knock the form joints
Sure.
down and rub it and just kind of,
Okay.
you know, give it a quick look at,
Sure.
is my opinion. The board might say otherwise.
Yeah, I think pulling the forms off and just leaving it, with the rebar, it looks like a construction site.
Yeah.
That's not finished. I
Sure.
think that's what really typically when there's that much concrete showing, we suggest that there needs to be some sort of finish to it. A hand rub or, some people do paint it, some people texture it or hand rub it. So that's,
Yeah. We may, rather than go through all of that, would you consider if we just did a brick ledge and brought the brick down?
But yeah, I mean, take the brick down to grade or closer to grade,
Yeah.
a few
Right.
inches is great too.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the last comment was under deck additions, we usually ask how you're gonna close the bottom off
Mhm.
rather than just having the 4 posts above ground with a 5 foot, if it'd be a lattice or boards or otherwise. And if you use it for storage, like lawnmowers or whatever, just, if you have lattice that have on the side you don't see much, you just have a
Mhm.
gate or
Right.
a door.
Yeah.
Is that existing?
No, but the current, there's a current,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. If you look in the front, there's some existing photos of on the first sheet there.
that's all I had.
That covers everything.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. All right, well, I think talk through that, so David. I think we can read a motion then
Okay.
for 6:45.
Yeah.
Lockwood.
I'll make a motion to approve 645 Lockwood Court with the following comments that the stone sills on the new addition would be included under the windows, and that if there is any particular existing brick header treatment on the existing building, that the new windows would match. And then option to either finish the concrete that's exposed to view or to introduce a brick ledge and take the brick down closer to grade. And then to enclose under the covered porch with lattice or some other treatment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, oppose? All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you, man.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Next, we have 245 Oak Tree Drive, attached garage.
Hi.
Oh.
Happy to address some of the comments that came up in the pre-session,
Sure.
if you,
Great.
I should.
Yeah, please
Okay.
go right ahead.
The driveway, the front driveway, yeah, we'll close, put that back. The front driveway that's
Get rid
being
of that.
abandoned.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we'll go back to just erasing that and landscaping and, cleaning that up, removing the slab so that it doesn't lead up to the.
That'd be
basement.
nice, yeah.
Yeah, and then on the side, the curb cut there, we're gonna try to get it, we want to get it as properly wide as we can. I just wanted to make sure there was precedent for that, which I believe there is. And so that's why I showed it that way. And over the last week, I've been checking out the neighborhood and I think we'll be fine on that, to have a wider curb cut so that it corresponds to the garage doors.
Yeah.
And then as far as the windows go, Carol, you're right. Those back windows on the existing house are not shown correctly on my drawings. They are those kind of smaller kitchen windows. There's
Mhm.
3 of them. And so all the windows on this addition are meant to copy. If you look at this side elevation right here,
Mhm.
there's a first floor window there. It's a 6/1. All the first floor windows on the new addition will match that, including the trim. It's got a little bit wider trim on the first floor. And then right above that is a pair of 6/1s, which will also on the back side of the addition match those as well in terms of the size and the trim on those. So all the windows on the addition are meant to mimic those 2 existing windows that face Selma.
Okay, and then there's that one that it looks great on the elevation, but looks like there's a countertop shown on the interior, and I was just wondering about the coordination of the length of the window with the countertop.
In the addition?
Yeah, let me just double check that I'm looking
Um,
correctly here. Yeah, it was, it's the window that's over, well, I'm looking at the window that's over the kitchen sink.
Yeah, that you're right. I was saying, yeah, I drew that incorrectly. That's an existing window and you're
Okay.
right. It is a shorter window. It's not
Okay.
the ones that, so,
Okay,
but that's an existing and we're not
okay,
I'm not copying that at all. I just happened to draw incorrectly on the existing.
okay, so the
Um,
plan is to leave those windows then? or-
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We're going to leave those windows. We're not changing those to match anything. Yeah,
Okay, I
Clarify.
just wanted to make sure that I was
understood.
understanding. Okay.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Anything else? Very good. With that, may I have a motion on 245 Oak Tree Drive?
I will move to approve 245 Oak Tree Drive with the clarification that the existing driveway is to be removed. The new driveway is to align or correspond to the new proposed garage doors. And I think that's it.
The existing
Kitchen window.
The existing windows are to remain on the back elevation.
Sure.
Second?
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, oppose. All right, Tom, you're approved as noted. Thank you. Have a good night. Next, we have 427 South Park Avenue.
Hi, I'm Ben Ellerman from Blaze Architects, and we did listen to the pre-meeting, and it looked like the main comment was an option for a small window in the east elevation bathroom. Is that correct? Our clients, because it was over a shower, that's why they were looking to remove that window from that bathroom. So that was the main reason why they removed that window.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that was just a suggestion to consider, not any
Yeah.
kind of requirement.
Yeah. Were there any other questions from the board?
no, I thought it was nice that you added the overhang to the house. I thought that was.
Yeah,
Yeah, the existing house is suffering from not having an overhang,
Yeah.
aesthetically and just maintenance.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
for
good.
sure. All right, well, that was it. So, thanks,
Yeah.
Ben.
Right.
With that, may I have a motion on 427 South Park Avenue?
I move to approve 427 South Park Avenue as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Opposed? All right. You're
Thank you.
approved. Thanks, Ben. With that, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all and good night.